breaking news today. JJ Redick will formally interview with the Los Angeles Lakers this weekend, and a strong performance is expected to move him to the forefront of the franchise's coaching search. That's according to our senior NBA insider, Adrian Wojnarowski. Now, Redick is currently calling the NBA Finals right here on ESPN. He played 15 seasons in the NBA and currently co-hosts a podcast with Lakers superstar LeBron James. So Woj is here with us now, NBA Today, live from Dallas. Woj, what more can you tell us about this upcoming interview between Redick and the Los Angeles Lakers and the timeline from here?
Well, this will be really the first formal, full-length interview for JJ Redick. He met with Rob Pelinka in Chicago at the draft combine. It was more of a get-to-know-you, like a 90-minute sit-down, and they explored a few things, but mostly just talking. This is what the other candidates have had who've gone into L.A., which means you meet with Jeannie Buss, you meet with some other officials in L.A., and kind of lay out a longer it's a longer interview. And James Borrego's been in L.A. twice. And so now for JJ Redick, he goes in this weekend, I'm told, and he's got a real opportunity to make his case for this job. And I think if it goes well, if they like what they hear on both sides, and there is a shared vision here, I think he is moving again to the forefront of this search. And I know he and Rob Pelinka talked in the last few days about the Lakers' pursuit of Dan Hurley, and certainly I think Redick understood it. Dan Hurley's obviously extremely accomplished, two-time national champion. You understand the reasons why they spent weeks pursuing him, but now he's by the boards, and there's an opportunity here for JJ Redick to step to the fore in this search as they start to get down to the wire of making a hire.
So this interview takes place this weekend. Shanae, when we've talked about what the Lakers need in their next head coach, we've talked about, okay, is this the coach where they need to be given a little bit of leeway here to develop a program? Is it better to get an established coach that has some experience coaching superstars like LeBron James, Anthony Davis? Can JJ fit all of these different criteria?
I don't think he fits all the necessary criteria because he has not been a head coach in the NBA so far, and he's going into a franchise that could help you, particularly with the way that this team is constructed with LeBron, but also Anthony Davis being the face of the franchise. But I want to spin this back to Woj, because what we heard was that the pitch to Danny Hurley was the opportunity to really build out the Lakers for the years to come. Does the scope sort of change if you're the Lakers, considering now there are more candidates that you're looking at now?
Well, I think that is still a big part of this job, developing the Max Christies, the Austin Reeves, the Rui Hachimuras. They've got the 17th pick in the draft. But certainly, if you're going to Dan Hurley, that's what he's familiar with. That's what he knows. That plays to his strengths. Dan Hurley's got to learn, hypothetically, would have had to learn the NBA game. He's got to learn the rhythm of an NBA season. JJ Redick knows that. Right. And so certainly his strengths are different than what Dan Hurley's strengths are. I think a Redick has to go in and make the case to the Lakers that he can develop players, that he can put together a coaching staff and player development and a plan that Dan Hurley has already showed he could do. The candidates are all different, and certainly not everybody checks every box. And you've said this, Brian, part of why the Lakers have been out of the box in this search is it is not a strong market for established winning coaches right now.
Yeah, I would assume JJ is going to have a lot of questions for the Lakers. They have free agency to deal with. They have roster plans to deal with. We're in a time where we're in a shifting moment in the NBA where does a team dedicated to go into the first apron of the luxury tax, the second apron of luxury tax? What do their plans have post LeBron James? Because JJ's got a great job. He's got the #1 commentator job, along with Doris Burke, in the industry. He's got his own media company, which is extremely valuable and growing. Plus, it's now that he is a head coaching candidate, this will be the second job he's interviewed for this offseason in addition to Charlotte, he could potentially wait for other jobs down the line. So obviously JJ has to perform well, and I'm sure he's been preparing for this day for a long time. But, just because the Lakers have an opening and JJ's interviewing for it doesn't mean it's a perfect match. And that's why, as Woj said, they've got to have an extensive interview process that has many layers to it because it's a big decision on both sides.
Yeah, but you can't just keep, if you get an opportunity to be the head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers, you can't just turn that down, right? You're talking about.
I just saw somebody do it.
No, I'm saying, I know Hurley did, but I'm saying, and it felt like a slap in the face to the Laker fans, right? We're talking about one of the most historical franchises in sports, okay? And I know they feeling the heat right now, especially with the Celtics on the verge of hanging banner number 18. Again, this is a franchise that's built on winning. So any coach that takes this job, it's not like they're going to be in the lottery every year. That's not what they're going to be expecting. You at least got to be in the thick of things. Again, this comes down to Anthony Davis hire. I know JJ Redick and LeBron, they got a strong relationship, but how is his relationship with JJ Redick? That's what it's going to come down. I mean, with Anthony Davis is what it's going to go down.
And that's going to be a big part of the conversation is how JJ Redick, how he sees using Anthony Davis.
Right.
That'll be a big part of it. That's always been a big part of this process.
And the hope is still to have a head coach in place for the NBA draft, and that is quickly approaching.
ESPN.